Welcome, everybody, to Sasha and Goff, live recorded. I'm Sasha.
And I'm Goff.
And we are back on the Google Meets this week because why?
Ooh.
I don't know. It's all my fault, really.
It's because it's St. Patrick's Day and we're both fucking hammered right now. And I
That
can't
is
make it
true.
over.
Happy St. Patrick's
Happy
Day.
St. Patrick's Day, everyone.
What did you do for? What's in your cup that you're drinking out of? What?
Water.
Ooh.
Water. Yeah.
What'd you do for St. Patrick's Day? Which bars did you hit up?
None. Actually, what did I do? I worked and then I came home. And that's it. And now here we are.
Cool,
on
cool.
St. Patrick's Day.
On
This is a
St.
great
Patrick's
start.
Day. Yeah, great start, which brings us to our topic of this week. We're doing our favorite and least favorite last meals.
Yes.
That's right. If we're sitting there on death row and they're about to push the button and we get one final meal, what are the top three and least favorite meals that we're gonna eat? I guess. Did you do full meals for all these?
I did. I found, so I have, my list includes meals I have had, like that stuck with me that I'm just like, oh my God, I remember that always. And then just other meals that I enjoy and whatnot. So I feel like the things I love are meals, and then the things on my bottom are just individual items that I hate. So I just kind of like made concoction meals involving these things. But before we move on, real quick, now that you just mentioned it a second ago, how would you like to go if you were on death row? What would be your way? Or is that next week's topic, our top three and our bottom three ways for death row?
Yeah, that's good, because I wanted to do top three suicides. You and the YouTube algorithm wouldn't let me.
I was like, not
and
this
my
week.
wife was sad.
Maybe next week.
But so what are the way? Lethal injection. There's the pulling of the switch, electrocution.
Yeah. All right. So I don't know if any of these are happen anymore besides lethal injection. So we'll just go with the fun ones anyway. Hanging. Let's see. Guillotine. I think a guillotine would be a nice. However, oh my God. That one and hanging would be the worst too if they didn't immediately kill you. Like the hanging, the neck snap, if it didn't get you. And then the guillotine, if it just kind of, it just stuck into the back of your neck.
I kind of like being put on a ship and just shipped into the like sea or whatever.
There's in one of the Batman movies, they just make people walk out onto a ice. Like it's like maybe it'll break, maybe it won't. So it's just like that's kind of like what they have to do. It's pretty fun.
What's the one called when they like put you on a ship, but they start burning the ship? And then you're just like over the water and your ship.
I think that's a Viking funeral, except you're dead when they do that.
Yeah. Oh, that's not to kill you. Okay.
Probably not. I don't think so.
All right. Well,
good stuff.
At least we started things on a light note here. But St. Patrick's Day, happy St. Patrick's Day.
You too, bud.
That brings up a good question here. Me and you, we're styling and profiling. We both got our hair did this week, obviously. But this is the time of year that you normally do some St. Baldricks action. What happened?
I
just finally said enough for the kids?
No, the at my work, they kind of got, they started posting this like just kind of late. And I think it was maybe like a week or two later than they did last year. And I kind of, after I didn't see anything, it was just like, you know what? I don't think I was going to do it anyway. And then by the time they started sending out the emails, you know what? I was just feeling selfish, and but no, I know it's for a great cause and everything, but it was also, it is work. I mean, I got to do the legwork, and then it's like I have to ask all of you guys for money because let's be honest, you guys, and then like my parents, well, no, just my family, I should say, L from Melmac, but people on this show who have donated. Thank you. Maybe next year, but instead, are you trying to tell us you're going to do it this year?
Absolutely
not. Is that what we're doing? You're gonna do it? You're gonna
I will shave my back.
Oh.
I will shave my back for free on this podcast, but you have to do the shaving.
I was gonna say, if we can what if we raise money for St. Baldricks that way? I just shave your back.
Poor child.
I don't want to do that. I don't think the kids get the hair.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not that, because like the little hair that I was cutting every time, it wasn't much longer than it is now. It was more just like you're just raising money.
I'm going to start my own charity that we like shave back hair, because every guy needs that done anyway. But then we give it
mine's not
to
bad.
children, but they have to put it on their back, not on their head.
What if they use it for like the moustache or like their
No,
face too? No, it's
strictly
got to be.
back.
All right.
I'm in.
So, yeah, all right. Yeah, I'll do it.
But anyway, would you
Anything to
shave
make
my
money for
back on
kids.
this podcast?
I don't
This is
know.
an intimate question.
This is it is, and it's one of those things where it's like, how into this podcast are we? And because like I've been getting so much jackass stuff on like all my algorithms, so it's bringing me back to a time that's like I would probably do that, and I would probably do that, but. No offense, brother, but I don't know if I would shave your back these days. I mean, yes, if you were like, hey man, will you please shave my back? Megan won't do it, and my arms are broken.
That's
I'd
literally
probably
why I'm asking, because Megan won't do it, and
his
because
arms
I
are
can't.
broken.
No, I physically can't. Like, I bought one of these extra long shavers that folds out very long, so you can do it like this, like it's a back scrubber.
Okay.
But it's got a shaver at the bottom, and it's very dangerous. And then I like bleed.
So that's interesting, actually. Do you have, like, in all honesty, has Megan ever helped you shave before anything?
No, she won't. She's like, that's
Okay.
disgusting. She's fast forwarding this podcast, but just because we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Same.
that's an absolute
But then again,
no.
I'm not really that hairy. I just shaved my face. Really is the only thing that grows hair. That's it.
Everything that I've lost in this upper dorsimus of my scalp has gone directly to my back and ears, and that's it. And I think that's what aging is.
I didn't hear anything past dorsimus. That's a great word.
Everything that passed my upper dorsimus here that has disappeared off of my forehead is on my back or my ears. So I hope that recorded twice for the podcast so that people are clear as to where the hair is growing on my body. But anyway, no St. Baldricks for you. No St. Backtricks for me. What else happened this week?
That's good.
Bam Adebayo scored 83 points in the NBA, the second highest point total of all time. What's your favorite Bam Adebayo highlight? Yeah, we'll move on. Jeff Rosenstock, who I talk about almost a weekly basis. Yeah, he's doing all these Metro shows, that I told you about, and he keeps selling them out. And every time,
sexual shows. Oh,
okay.
That was dumb. Sorry,
very.
But yes, go on. He sells them out. Last
time,
I
anyway,
think you said he was like 3 sellouts.
Yeah, he's at eight shows now. 8 shows in a row that Jeff Rosenstock is doing at the Metro. Just thought that was a cool thing to add to this show.
Yeah.
I guess not. That's just for me and Dave. Useless.
No,
Dave.
I mean you mentioned it, so it's cool.
Besides that, I have one other interesting tidbit for you. I got something for you to guess here. I was looking at this auction. Speaking of useless, Dave, he sent me a link for this auction, and it was like a Legends of Comedy auction, and they have a bunch of stuff from the estate of Louis Anderson, the Friars Club in New York, which I believe is closed, and they're, I assume, selling off all this stuff, and then also the estate of Gallagher, the legend, the man Gallagher. And so they're selling off a bunch of stuff from these legendary comedic, whatever you want to call them. And they sold 3 Gallagher mallets that he smashed watermelons with. 2 of them, these things are great. And they were exactly the ones that you see on his specials and whatever.
Okay, yeah.
The third one was kind of a crappier looking one, but still they put that one up there. But I want you to guess 1970s to 80s iconic stage-used sledge-o-matic sledgehammer, estimated to go for $4,000 to $6,000.
Okay.
How much do you think this mallet went for on these julianauctions.com or whatever this is?
Okay. Estimated 4,000 to 6,000. Did they all go for the same price?
No, and this one is the highest price out of all of them. Okay. Is what I'll tell you as a hint.
So this could have been a nice swerve by you by snickering when you said 4,000 to 6,000. Like that's not even close. But I was actually thinking 10,000.
Because that's the bid you put in for it.
Yes, my credit card was declined, and then they called, and Joni said no.
$19,200.
Okay, all right. See, I knew it was. Yeah, Gallagher's a pretty iconic dude. 4,000 seems very low for like I don't think I've ever watched a Gallagher stand-up special, but I know exactly who that is and what that hammer is. So, yeah, there's
Gallagher is an
value.
interesting guy. He has a pretty nasty reputation as far as like
Oh,
just being a jerk to
killing
younger
watermelons.
comedians
Okay.
and stuff like that. Him and Mark Maron had a little feud. He's like one of the only people to ever just like leave the Maron podcast like while it was going on because he was offended and
Wow.
whatever. Also, there was the whole thing where his brother was touring as Gallagher. Like he has a twin brother, and he was touring
Oh,
as Gallagher. And then I
ooh,
don't
the
know if it was
ultimate
their
grift.
plan. Yeah, it was like their plan to have both guys doing this to make money, or what I believe it was the brother was just doing it as Gallagher and tricking
Without
everybody
the
into
other one knowing.
yeah, without
Holy
the real
shit.
Gallagher knowing, and then he tried to sue him or something. I could be wrong in those details, but it is definitely worth looking into anyway. But so one of them went for $19,000. The next highest one went for $16,000, which is insane because you're at $35,000
Yeah.
spent on two mallets. And then the third one went for something like $6,000 or $5,000
Okay.
or whatever. It wasn't as cool of one, but yeah, that's insane. That's absolutely insane, and I absolutely love it. So that's about it. What you got going on this week? Anything fun? Anything interesting?
Something kind of interesting. So,
I
remember
spent
last
$19,000
yeah,
on a Gallagher mallet.
check this out. I'm like, I got a huge one. Um, no, so remember last weekend I sent you a text and I was just like, because there was something going on across the street at my neighbor's house. There was
Yeah.
like police, and I was joking. It was just like, man, this would be great for the podcast if I knew what was going on. So, got no information from this at all.
Oh,
What happened was I was watching out the window and there was a couple inside that. Now, the couple whose house this is an old couple. I mean, like they're in their 80s, okay? And I hate old couple, but they're older. I could see the people who are at the door with these police were not the homeowner. So I'm just like, all right, maybe it's like their son or whatever, kids. However, outside there's like five police officers with another couple. And it's like for some reason these other two people can't go inside the house. So I'm just thinking it's just like, all right, like these two are in pretty bad shape and now there's fighting over the house. So that's all I'm thinking right now. It's like that's got to be what it is because these two people that have five cops around them are outside, meaning it's just like maybe they're being forcibly kept outside. Anyway, Natalie has a dance competition going on, like, so it's just counting down to when I have to leave because I have to be there at a very specific time, and I'm running out of time and nothing has happened yet. So I text my next door neighbor, my boy Nick, and I'm like, dude, are you watching this? He's like, of course I am. What else do we do? So I'm like, I gotta leave. Can you keep me updated? So go to Natalie's competition. It was awesome. We'll post it at the end of this. Just kidding. But it was awesome. They won a bunch of awards. Good for them. So no resolution at all. Nick texted me and he's just like, yeah, everyone left. That's the end of the story. So 3 or 4 days ago, last Friday, I get home from work. Sadie always gets home like 2 minutes before me. So she gets home and she hands me something that was inside of our door, like a little pamphlet or something that someone put there. So my first guess is that it's some fucking, some solicitor either for, trying to sell us sun paneling or telling us to vote for whoever. But anyway, so I look at it and I notice that it looks like kind of like an obituary. I don't recognize the name on it, so I'm just like, eh. So I just kind of toss it off to the side because the woman, the previous owner of our house, who passed away, within the last decade, had a lot of friends in the neighborhood. So my guess is that maybe someone was like, oh, Anne would like to know that this person passed away, so that she put it in the door or whatever. So then a couple hours later, Joni gets home and she just happens, she's like, oh, it's that. I'm like, oh, someone died. Someone passed away. They put it in the door. Sadie pulled it out of the door, so like a corner of it was ripped off and I couldn't see one of the name. So Joni's like in the middle of drinking something, and I'm like, it says, and I say the name, and she kind of like gasps, and she just points across the street, and she's like, "It's the guy across the street." I was just like, "Oh shit!" So that's what was going on last Saturday. However, the part that Sadie ripped off was the top part of the obituary, which was his wife, who passed away 1 week earlier. So both of them
Mm.
passed away like within a week. We had no idea. No one in the
Whoa.
neighborhood said anything. No paramedics, and I don't know if they did this like at night, like. But yeah, it was pretty crazy. So we have a free open house across the street. If you and Megan, you guys said you
Ooh.
were looking, it's a pretty nice house. But anyway, no, no. Rest
I
in
would
peace.
never live in that neighborhood.
Come on, man. We could podcast every day. Seriously, we could just
Oh,
go back and forth.
sounds rough.
This sounds awful. No, but I'm not trying to make light of it, but it was kind of crazy that yeah, it was like a week-long story, and then in the end it's like, oh shit, I have two less neighbors now. Like, I didn't know them that well. They were very immobile. Like I said, they were older. However, Joni did read that the woman was like part of the Glen Ellen gardeners club or whatever, and I swear to God, the last words this woman said to me was, "Your garden looks beautiful." She like yelled it across
Wow.
the street, and that was like last summer, and I was just like, babe, I'm like, the lady, because we didn't know that the woman was still alive. I mean, it was like to that point in the yeah, but so rest in peace to them. But yeah, it's just it was kind of a crazy, like, wow, yeah, them and Swick, right?
Yeah, that's interesting. And so then you have now a situation where, like, I assume new people are going to move
Yeah.
in.
Of course, I'm like that. That's the first thing I'm thinking. It's just like, God, I hope they don't suck. The thing is though, like, what's good, like, you've been in my neighborhood, like, we have pretty long front yards, so they're still far away, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
across, but no, that's 100% something you always have to think about. And our neighborhood is quiet, and obviously this was an older couple who made no noise and was not a nuisance to
Mhm.
anyone. So yeah, I mean, it's a bigger house. It's one of the bigger houses like on the block. So I'm hoping it's it keeps the ruffians away, and some yuppie Republican family moves it. No, that's
Excellent.
it. I got
That's beautiful. I love it.
it. Yeah.
Fantastic.
No, that is, come on, like, dying a week apart though. That's kind of
No, that's nice. That's like you hear that with
almost
old people.
destiny. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like
it's
yeah, no, that actually
heartbroken.
happened with one of my buddies, like his grandparents. It was like, yeah, with one of them passed and the other one, it's kind of like, yeah, all right, I'm good, I can go. So they kind of stopped fighting.
Yeah, or like, hey, no one's here to make me food. And then
Pull
all of a
that.
sudden,
Hey kid, there's $50 in my wallet. It's yours if you pull that fucking plug. Do it.
and that takes us to thumbs up,
Oh,
thumbs down when we talk about the stuff that we've been putting inside of our bodies, whether it's music or arts or food or lobsters or whatever it is that we're doing. I got a couple for you this time around this episode. First and foremost, the Oscars was this past weekend. Did you watch any of the Oscars?
just some clips.
Yeah, I don't really know. I was waiting to watch a AEW wrestling pay-per-view, which started at 7, and the Oscars were on at 6. So me and Megan were kind of watching. Conan O'Brien's hosting, so kind of want to watch the monologue. He was a little bit political, and the crowd kept oohing and eyeing instead of like laughing. I don't think they were prepared. Not that he went like incredibly hard or anything like that, but just they were controversial topics, and the people there were like, "Oh my!"
Yeah.
And so it was a little bit awkward of a monologue and whatever. The only cool thing that I learned that had happened here was that there's a movie. Oh, what's it called? Warriors or something? Or
What?
Oh yeah, that's not it.
I don't like what you're doing right now.
No, I'm looking it up. Oscars movies. So this new movie came out recently, and it's got this like old lady who played a weird, creepy part. Megan saw it. I believe you have talked about it.
Weapons, not warriors.
Weapons. There you go.
Yes. Yeah.
So that lady who's in that, who's the weird, creepy lady with like the red, or
Yeah,
Conan
she's like,
played her
she's
and
like a
had red
witch,
hair.
kind of. Okay.
Yeah. Do you know who that lady is?
No.
That is the
Wait a
lady that
minute.
I
Hold
talked
on.
about
Uncle
recently.
Buck. Uncle Buck.
Yeah,
Yep. I right now that I'm Shanice Kobolowski or whatever. Yep. I just
yeah.
I for whatever reason your tone made me like just like wait no because I think when I watched it I was like is that what's her name?
Yeah, and that's not her name. Whatever you just
No,
said.
that's her name and Uncle Buck is Shanice Kobolowski.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why I keep saying that weird name.
her name is Amy Madigan, and she is
Okay.
from Chicago.
Oh, nice.
And she has been an actress for 40 years or whatever, and she won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress for that movie.
Wow.
And so she went up there and she was doing the speech, and I was thinking it, and then Megan said it out loud, but it's like, do you know who that is? And then we realized that it was the lady from Uncle Buck who I called her a handsome woman who looks like John Travolta. And honestly, she looks a lot better older than she did back then to me. The 80s were a weird time. Everyone was on cocaine. They were into dude-looking ladies like Aerosmith.
And now you are.
But I say, hey, congratulations to that lady. I'm pretty sure she got the Sasha and Goff push to the top. You know what I mean? Anytime we talk about something, automatically these people start winning awards. So,
Yep.
But overall, I'm going to give a thumbs down to the Oscars because I don't care, and it's just a bunch of movies that I've never watched or heard of or probably will watch.
Yeah.
Next up is
a movie called Warriors, or what is this? Weapons? You're looking at the same list.
So last 2 weeks we've done something called Sasha Catches Up on pop culture and movies and whatever. Now you gave me a list of movies off the air. Jaws.
Right after we talked about this new segment, we forgot to do it at the end. So
yeah, absolutely. Jaws, Aliens, and Goonies were the options that you gave me. And then you also said The Last Boy Scout, which I was leaning towards personally out of all those. And so I chose to watch Donnie Darko instead of any of those movies.
Ugh, okay.
Now, I have never seen Donnie Darko. I've never heard of Donnie Darko, but Megan's been talking about this movie since I met her.
Okay.
It's a weird, creepy movie. I asked her to describe the movie, and she said she couldn't. And I said, this is a great start. I can't wait to watch this thing. And so we decided to watch it. We turned it on, and it was creepy. It was weird. Jake Gyllenhaal's in it. The Noah gonna work here anymore. The guy from ER,
Noah Wiley,
maybe.
I think, yeah.
And some other people were in this movie, and
is his
a little bit
sister in
trippy.
that too?
Yeah, Maggie Gyllenhaal was in this. Have you seen this movie before? It's been a long time.
It's been a long. I used to own the movie. I think it was one that I bought because, like Megan to you, it's just like people talked it up so much, and I watched it. I'm like, this is terrible. Sorry, Megan. No, I didn't care for that movie at all. Sorry.
Well, it's funny because I was making fun of the movie while we were watching it, and then halfway through I stopped. And then when the movie was done, she was like, "What did you think?" And I was like, "You'll have to tune in to Sasha and go. We can't lose 10% of our clicks to this show."
Very true.
So here's my review of Donnie Darko. Thought it was an interesting movie. Here's what it makes me realize. I'm just not a movie guy. Not when it comes to thinkers, not when it comes to like figuring stuff out. I just like funny and I like
I gave you 4 easy non-thinkers.
I know.
You had to think outside the box, and
I'll say this though, it was creepy. It had its interesting moments. And then when it was done, Megan told me that she looked up like what the meaning of the movie was or whatever, and everyone's still confused at what this movie is really about. And so I'm gonna give it 2 thumbs here. Ooh. One is going down because I did not really enjoy this movie, but one is going up because I do think it was kind of an original.
You appreciate what they did.
I appreciate that they were trying to do something. This was a movie from 2001, and I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. So I appreciate the creativity.
Okay.
But really, I didn't really enjoy it. But I think it's more that I'm just not a big movie guy. That's what I'm really starting to. I mean, I knew this already before I started watching movies.
Yeah, no way.
I'm just verifying to myself that I'm not really into movies unless it's Titanic 2 or has the word Ernest in the title. So
As
So
it should be.
2 thumbs for Donnie Darko. We'll split them. And another thing that happened last week, I went to see one of my favorite current bands, Angel Dust, played at the Bottom Lounge. This was last Sunday show.
Ooh, Sunday.
Sunday shows can be tough. Luckily, this show, doors were at 5 and the show started at 6. And so I set it up so that I would get there at 7 so that I would hopefully only watch one band, being Angel Dust. But I ended up watching 3 bands. And this was a hardcore show. They had 3 bands listed originally total, including Angel Dust. So I was like, this is going to be awesome. But I think there were probably 1 or 2 other bands because the bands that I saw were thanking bands that I had never heard of. And I was like, why would you thank these bands if they were not on this show? But I went to go see Angel Dust, and huge thumbs up to Angel Dust as a live show. I'm a fan. It's just my type of music.
Awesome.
They're very turnstile-y, by which I mean they have songs that are awesome punk, like fast hardcore songs. And then they have songs where you're like, I don't know where this fits and how they came up with this, and I will not listen to this anymore. But they do have enough good songs that I really, really like them. So thumbs up for their live show. And I saw them at the Metro like a year and a half, 2 years ago. The guy broke his ankle while he was on stage.
Wow.
It was
during your show.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so they were good, but I was like, okay, they're a little sloppy. He didn't sound that great. They seem like a more established, more solid band now. They have a guitarist that I don't know. I think he might be new, and I think he might be one of these like guitarist for hire kind of guy who's just like really awesome at his job, but I don't think he's been in the band for that long.
Okay.
But that doesn't really matter to me. The show was great. I had a great time. They played for probably an hour. The rest of the bands, thumbs down. Not that they were even horrible. They were like fine for hardcore bands, but hardcore music, like breakdown hardcore music, to me, if you're not great, it's kind of bad.
You're bad. Yeah,
it's kind of bad. There's no middle, and they all do the same thing.
And it's so much of like talking.
Yep.
I'm gonna. Yeah.
Let's tear this shit up. Side to side right now, and everybody just starts kicking in the air, and you're like, all right, okay. But the last band also said that. You know who didn't have to say that? Angel Dust. Now I'm sure they probably did once or twice, but not like as a major part of the show. Like here's instructions for the people who are out there.
Style. Yeah.
It was just they were not bad bands that I watched, and so I don't want to name them because I don't hate them. You could do the work to figure out who it was. Bad Beat and Big Boy.
Okay.
I guess I will give you the name. They were not bad bands at all, but they were not like great hardcore bands that I want to see, regularly or whatever. So it's just kind of like middle of the road for me. So sorry, thumbs down to those guys.
Okay.
And then my final thing here is Angel Dust actually put out a new album a couple weeks ago called Cold to the Touch. And for this, I'm giving it a thumbs down. That's right. One of my favorite bands currently. This album, there's 2 songs that I put on my playlists that I do, which means that there's like 9 songs that did not make my playlist. Not that they're bad, not that they're whatever. It just they weren't that great, and they're kind of all over the place. Seeing them play some of these new songs live also helped me like them a little bit more. You're like, okay, I get what you're doing here. That's why I always like seeing the band live before I listen to their album, but it's just so much easier to do the opposite, like listen to an album and then go see them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so thumbs up Angel Dust live, thumbs down Angel Dust album. And that's it for me. By the way, 11 songs, 27 minutes.
Ooh.
So one more.
That's even more condensed than the Wilhelm one.
Yeah, one extra song and one less minute than the new Wilhelm album. So check it out.
That's pretty good. You like short songs. Let me tell you about a band, Kid Dynamite, who would do like 18 songs, 21 minutes. It's good stuff.
Good Riddance has that same situation going. You know what I mean? Like,
it's good stuff. And it just
Yeah.
gives you more time to listen to the album. I've listened to the new
Yeah.
Wilhelm at least 50 times. Anyway, speaking of other new albums, just a new EP that just came out, Authority Zero. It's called Narcissist. This is, I guess, it's only 4 songs. They're so I didn't know that bands still did this. They had songs that are only released like overseas, or like they
Oh
have
wow.
like, yeah. So I was kind of like, I thought they were new. It's, like I said, it's either 4 or 5 songs. 2 of them are like faster punk songs, and the other 2 are, I don't know. It's like Authority Zero is kind of one of those bands. They have a lot of like stuff too, because they're very like reggae, ska, punk. I mean, like maybe a little bit of metal, but all over the board. But this is fine. It's only 4 songs, like I said. Scrubs is back. Were you ever a Scrubs fan? The TV show?
No, and this has been an argument that me and producer Tony and my dear friend Putsky have been getting into lately because they both think Scrubs is better than King of Queens, and I
Okay.
think I need new friends. So
So first of all, this is great because I remember what last week's YouTube whatever, Tony put his list and Scrubs just happened to be at the very bottom, like
yep,
with no context. So I had a
there it
feeling that's
is.
what that was.
Yep.
So okay,
Yeah.
I guess you don't. Sorry, I saved you from explaining that. All right. I don't know. I haven't watched King of Queens, so I'm not going to compare the two. My siblings, Rob, Heather, and Jessica, they love Scrubs. They fucking love it. I watched it one time through, and I thought it was fine. I thought it was better than fine. I thought it was good. Like I'd watch it again, but it's like I never got around to it. The 2 main stars, Zach Braff and what's his name, Donald Faison, they're still best friends and their chemistry shows on the show. Always. It's great. So anyway, I watched the first episode of this reboot and I loved it. If you're a fan of the show, like I was, just even very casual, that one episode, that's the only one I've watched, though. I think there's been like 4 or 5 out. So I don't know where it went from there, but I was very nostalgic. I was smiling the whole time, and I thought they did a good job, just kind of keeping the magic, so but anyway, yeah, so
I
I'm gonna
I never got into the original one. I've seen episodes of it, but not in any sort of like start at season 1, episode 1 and go through it, just like random
mhm,
episodes. And I always kind of go, eh. And I don't think I like shows that take place in hospitals is the thing.
yeah.
And that one is obviously it's called Scrubs. It's in a hospital. It goes for that St. Denis Medical. It kind of like
Well, see, Saint Denis Medical is a lot more just like Superstore, like The Office
okay,
kind of. Scrubs actually had some like moments where you were supposed to just be like, oh, like actual, like where they would get you in the like. There was an episode with
like drama.
yeah, yeah, like yeah,
Yeah.
that's the word I'm looking for before I do like a long explanation. But no, so Scrubs actually would have some, but there was also some times though where it was because this is a comedy, it either doesn't fit in or it's not done well enough, and it just kind of sucks. And I
Okay.
had in my when we did our TV bosses, one of my least favorites was Dr. Perry Cox, who's John C. McGinley.
Hmm.
And in the first episode, he was very toned down, but he's also way older. So it's like I don't know if he's got the energy to be that character anymore. But anyway, yeah. So I'm gonna check it out. I gotta finish Community. I've got like 5 episodes left of that, and then I'm done. So I'll get back to Scrubs. And then quickly, I just wanted to like a little quick talk. I wanted to talk about Aldi a little bit. All right. I know you shop at
Okay.
Aldi occasionally, right?
I love Aldi. I was there
Okay.
yesterday.
Okay, good. So was I. All right. I have a new obsession, and this isn't just Aldi. I mean, like I think Hostess or Entenmann's, whatever, they make these little Debbie's, even just those mini muffins. There's like a little pack, and I think there's like 4 in there. I'm
Yep.
fucking obsessed with these things. And like since it's Aldi, they're like way cheaper than like the little Debbie ones. But I just want to give shouts outs, whatever, to Aldi. It's not the first time we've mentioned them, but I've started shopping there way more because there's one right by my house, and I just love it. I mean, it's never that crowded, and even when it is, all the self checkouts are. And you know what? I got to break into a tangent into a tangent. Thumbs up for Aldi, by the way.
All
And
right.
this is gonna sound terrible because this is gonna sound like I'm backing like AI or the robots or anything like that. But what is your take on humans doing like all right, I wanted to say like humans doing the job of machines, but it's like you could everything can keep going back because it's like yeah, machines can do the job of humans, but like I went to get a excuse me, I went to get a car wash the other day, and when I pulled up to the credit card thing or whatever, there was a guy there that I handed my credit card to, and he put it in the slot and pressed the button that I told him to press and then handed me my card back. And now when I said this to Joni, she's like, well, that guy's there because he's trying to sell the monthly pass or whatever. And it's like, all right, but he serves no purpose to people like me who aren't there to buy the monthly pass. So it was just kind of like, that's what and then I'm thinking about like self checkout at grocery stores. Speaking of Aldi, I just mentioned that, and I was at the store the other day. No one is in the lines with the cashier anymore because if you don't have to interact with someone, no one wants to anymore. It's if
Yeah,
you have less than 20 groceries or whatever, it's like screw it, I'll just scan them myself. So
that's where I
we are
thought you were
getting
headed
there,
with this.
you know.
I thought that's where you were headed by saying like robots and human jobs. I have no clue who is holding your credit card and then pushing a button for. I think that person does not work there.
Yeah.
They
No,
probably
no,
just took
it
your
was
information.
yeah, no. If like we've gone to like there's a new Wash U, I think right by me, and then there's also a Jet Bright, and it's like at both of them there are attendants always standing there right next to the machine, and it's like, all right, I don't want the thing, and they're like, all right, but then they still like make you hand them the card, and I don't know, it's just stupid. But let's go back to Aldi real quick. No, I just wanted to give a thumbs up for Baker's Treat. I think that's like their brand or whatever. It's so good, man. And then also Benton. They make like the Girl Scout cookies that are like a quarter of the price of actual Girl Scouts, and they're the same exact ones. So good. So huge thumbs up for Aldi again, again.
Okay, gotta love it. Which takes us to our top three of this week. We are doing our favorite and least favorite last meals. What would we have for our final meals? Let's start things off with our bottom three.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
This is
yeah, stuff
interesting.
that we do not really care about because I feel like me and you are going to be more. Well, it doesn't matter what I feel. Let's just do it.
More
Bottom three
racist.
foods. I'm going to start things off with my number three. This is what I do not wish that they would give me for a last meal because it's absolutely disgusting and I don't want it. It is called pitija. Pitija is a Serbian food that
Ah, yes.
everybody makes at their slavas, and old Serbian people love this. I don't know why, because I'm going to read from AI here. Pitija, often pronounced pitija, is a traditional Serbian dish that is essentially meat jelly.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't
So
like that.
that's not anything good. Meat jelly is disgusting. It is a staple of winter cuisine in the Balkans, traditionally prepared during the late fall and winter months, and is a centerpiece at celebrations like People's Slavas and Christmas. The dish is made from lesser cuts of pork, which is a good band name, specifically parts
Yes.
rich in natural gelatin, like trotters, which are feet, ears, hocks, and snout. Uh, yeah, basically it looks like Jello, except it's like pasty white colored, and that's it. That's how I can describe it. And why anyone
Yeah.
would ever even try to eat this food, I don't know why. Serbian people love it. If I was about to be electrocuted to my death and they gave me this, I would be pissed, but not as pissed as if two other foods that made my list were. So that's my number three. Pitija, Serbian pitija.
Do your parents eat it?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like we don't generally make it because I don't eat it. So they're like, well, if he's not going to eat it, that's like 33% of us not eating it. So,
Ah, sorry.
uh,
Clear my throat.
yeah, they don't really make it, but they'll eat it like at other people's houses.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
gross.
So mine, I mean, sorry, I have loser lame American food on mine. Actually, as I say American food, lasagna is my number three. um, no, so I'm a very sensory I don't know what that, like I have like my daughter Sadie, I've handed off a lot of these terrible habits onto her, but like I like tags in my shirts, things like that. Like I can't have them. Like I'll wear shirts inside out sometimes because the seam like bugs me, stuff like that. And that it's the same way with food. So, for instance, like lasagna needs to be cooked through and through, and lasagna is like a hard thing to cook because there's so much density to it. So, I feel I've had way too many of those instances where it's like it's delicious and then you get that one bite and it's like ice cold. Or it's just and the way I am, this isn't me being like, oh, this fucking sucks and throwing it out. It's literally something in my head that's just like, I don't want to eat this anymore. Like I love cereal. It's probably like not on these lists, spoiler, but one of my favorite foods. If I get like one of those pieces that's like melded together and is like hard, and it's like there's that sensory where I've eaten one and now it has ruined the rest of the cereal for me because it's like I in my head it's like I'm gonna get another one of these, or so I'll dump the whole thing out. So lasagna, yeah, just besides being a food that literally just tastes like every other like pizza, pasta, everything just smashed together, it's like I can get that flavor from so many other things. And yeah, I just lasagna when that's the main course, I'm like, fuck.
This is A, shocking to me,
Yeah.
and B, when you and Joni came over to my house for
No,
dinner that
I
one,
checked. I made sure it was mastacholi.
are you sure?
Yes, I'm pretty. God, I hope to God it was. And I swear to God, Megan, if you're listening, I asked Joni
It's
first.
just your lasagna,
No,
Megan.
no, I told because I said that to Joni and she's like, "Oh yeah, it's a good one," because she kind of agreed. And then I was like, "Wait," I'm like, "I know Megan's gonna." When we went over there and she was like, she shook her head and she's like, "No, it was mastacholi."
It was actually ziti.
Okay, all
Ziti.
right, still, hey, that's close.
But if you ask
Not
me,
lasagna though.
all three of those are pretty much lasagna.
Hey, but still, no,
You could have said no.
lasagna is just layers of I don't
Okay.
know. No, hey, no.
I will say
The
this.
ziti was delicious. And I like
The
ziti with
lasagna,
marinara, but lasagna, no.
my
No.
least favorite part of lasagna is when it's like you take that bite and you get one of the crunchy ones that like is
Yeah.
not cooked, and you're like, "Ow!" That breaks your
See?
tooth or whatever.
That's what would put me over the edge.
I got you.
It's in the garbage.
My number two food that I better not get if you're about to kill me is ribs. I
Oh,
hate ribs. I think
wow.
ribs are pointless. There's not a lot of meat on there. You have to work way too hard, and you have to cook them for 17 days to like make them. I don't care what kind of rub you put on them. I don't care how good you are at making them. I know producer Tony's crying right now because he makes ribs all the time, and he takes
Jody
like a
does too,
12-hour
man.
day. To me, ribs, no thank you. If you're offering me ribs as a sign of friendship, I decline your friendship. Keep your ribs out of here. Oh, real men eat ribs. No, it's my hands are covered in sauce. This is
I'm not a big
child's
fan of
food.
that either. I'm not a fan
Yeah.
of messy foods. But
And then you
I
got to
do
go
like ribs.
clean your hands. And then guess what? For the next 3 days, you still have ribs in your fingernails. It doesn't matter that you cleaned your hands. So ribs, that's my number two.
All right, what movie is this from? Very quickly. Ribs. I had ribs for lunch. That's why I'm doing this.
Anchorman.
Very
Yeah.
good. All
I
right.
mean, it was a poor impression, but it was definitely Anchorman.
It's good enough. Okay. My number two would be, so this is just a combination of three things I hate, and they're all vegetables, I guess. So we'll say like a vegetable salad that consists of eggplant, artichoke, and water chestnut.
Oh, 2 out of 3.
That you don't like or do like?
What were they? Eggplant,
Artichoke, and
artichoke.
water chestnut.
I'm like decent, okay with artichoke, but I don't seek them out. Eggplant, not really a big fan, but I love water chestnuts.
Why? Ooh, they just look at it. My head's gonna like explode. There's like it's that peppermint crunchy thing in the middle of your Chinese food. Everything tastes delicious, and then all of a sudden you hit that speed bump, which is just like the crunchy thing. And
Yeah,
it's
I don't
not
know
like
where
a
the
nice crunch.
I don't know where the peppermint comes from, but it's a nice little crunch.
I think there's a little of a minty. No, from
I don't know. I'm the wrong person to ask because I eat food because I'm hungry. Not
I've
like
never
for the
had a
taste.
water chestnut. He's just being a jerk. No, eggplant. Maybe it's not that, but artichokes though. Joni's been trying to get me on those for years, and I hate them.
What
They're
about like a
gross.
spinach and artichoke dip?
That's that's passable. So you found a
Okay.
loophole. All right,
All right.
you found that's the one spot. But no, like her family like loves artichoke hearts, and they'll always have them like on the trays and stuff. And it's like even with like you can pretty much get me to eat anything if there's like a delicious sauce, but not these things.
I get it. The artichoke heart versus a artichoke in a dip, like cut up and whatever,
Yeah,
is totally a different thing. Yeah.
yeah. But
Okay.
let's not also one more time fuck water chestnuts. Hate them. I hate
All
them.
right.
That should be my number one, actually. That's probably my number one, but it's out of order because it's in a salad with two other that aren't my number one. Go ahead.
My number one is you gotta slurp them, and I don't even know
Oh,
what that means, but it's oysters, it's clams, it's
okay.
any sort of shelled thing with a morsel in it that is slimy or gross, and it takes too much to eat for too little of a morsel of this horrible whatever. I don't know. Maybe it tastes good, maybe it doesn't. I don't care. I don't care to try. It's the ribs of the sea,
Ooh, it's
and
good.
yeah, just keep it away from me. If I had to eat oysters or clams, that's a way that you could murder me. I would just just keep eating them until I'm gone, you know. So oysters, clams.
I don't know if I've ever had clams. I've had oysters though, like with the right sauce, very good. My sister-in-law Robbie prepares very good clams or oysters. Oysters, what did I say? Oysters. Anyway, all right, my number one. I've talked about it before. Chicken. I fucking hate chicken. Because I'm afraid it's gonna kill me. Not all chicken. This is the weird one because if it's chicken that is cooked in a kitchen, like that's
This
not
is
a
crazy.
restaurant, I don't want to eat it.
This is
No, and
crazy.
this again, this isn't me just being like chicken. I have a genuine fear of eating undercooked chicken. I've talked about this on this podcast in like episode 2 or 3, I think I
No,
talked
I
about it.
well
But I
aware.
and many people do, so it's not like it's a crazy
Nope,
thing, but yeah,
nope,
no. Yes,
not to this
people do.
extent.
For eating on undercooked poultry, I think that's a very common thing.
No, but you this is what you do. You cut it and you look and you go, oh no, it's good. And then you eat the chicken
Yeah,
because
but
it's
I don't cook.
delicious.
So someone else
I
is
didn't
probably
ask you
cooking.
to make it. Just if
Yeah.
you're gonna eat it, you cut it, and then you realize that it's not still alive, and then you keep eating it.
Yeah, but chicken is also like, I don't know, it's just too basic. I don't like, I
Wow.
don't know. Yeah.
You should
Chicken's
seek
your number
therapy.
one, right?
I think you should seek therapy.
Okay, yeah, this is the guy who said he hated the Taco Bell dog. All right. Your opinion does not matter at
I
all.
mean, I didn't say I also shouldn't seek therapy, but this is something that's
We'll go
really
together.
it's really out there.
Chicken? Really? Chicken and
Chicken
lasagna. It's putting you
as
over,
the
huh?
one thing that you do not want to eat for your final meal. You shouldn't even care that it's undercooked at that point because you're about to die anyway,
Well, then that's the same for your list too, for anything.
I guess, but shut up. All right, then let's move
Oh,
on to our
logic.
top. This is
Wait, what
stuff that
was
we
your number one?
oysters, clams.
Oh, that's
That was
right.
my
Okay.
yeah.
All right. I forgot you went first.
Moving on to our favorite last meals. I'm going to go with my number 3, something that I absolutely love. Can't keep it in the house. That's how much I love it because I will just overeat this constantly. Cocoa Krispies with a banana in it.
Oh,
I love Cocoa Krispies. I love when the milk turns into chocolate. I love banana. I love the
yeah.
flavor of chocolate and banana combining to form the greatest combination
I've
of
never
all
done
time.
that.
Yeah, I love it. And anytime I buy Cocoa Krispies, like I'll buy, really it's for any cereal, but Cocoa Krispies I go nuts for. We're talking 2-3 bowls at a time, buddy.
Okay.
I mean, it's a
Yeah.
problem. It's a problem. So I do not buy cereal because I cannot control the amount that I eat.
Well, it's
So,
one of those things where it's like if you still have milk left, you're like, got to pour
yeah,
more
just
in.
keep
And yeah,
dumping. Just keep
exactly.
dumping.
When
Yeah.
the
So
milk is
that's my number
gone.
3.
All right, my number 3. You're gonna hate this one because this is funny too. You talked about this last week. How much you hate fondue. I am a big fan of just the whole process. Now, it doesn't have to be like the melting pot, which is the restaurant we were talking about. I know you hate the cooking thing, and I kind of like it. I like the ambiance. I don't need to spend 2 hours eating. Don't get me wrong, especially now that it's like everything I like to do. I like it to be 30 seconds or 30 minutes or less. And but I just, like if you're doing all four courses, then I guess I will go like off of melting pot style, which is like cheese and salad and then the fondue and then the chocolate and the Wisconsin trio cheese. I'm just gonna keep talking longer as you shake your head no.
That's fine. I
Yeah,
just
no.
don't they
But
serve chicken,
yeah, but you don't have to have chicken.
but do you eat it fondue style?
I have, yes, but I mean but
You're cooking it,
yeah.
and you have
Oh, well,
faith
okay,
in
I
your
get your point.
abilities.
Yeah, yeah. Well, see, now here's the other logic. Here's the other logic I have. If I'm at a restaurant and it's undercooked, I'll just sue them. I can't do that when I'm at home. So at least it's a win-win situation. Either the chicken is good and it gets a pass, and if not, they go out of business because I sued them.
Okay.
So,
I'll say this:
yeah.
there was a Hula Hands that used to be by your house
I
over there,
know. I'm so bummed it's gone.
and me and Megan went there, and she got chicken. I want to say chicken cordon bleu or something like that one time, and
Ooh.
she cut into it, and it was raw chicken.
Mm.
I mean, like disgustingly raw chicken, and we sent it back. I don't even think they comped us, and like we
Mm.
don't argue, so we just let it happen or whatever. But we never went back there,
This
and
is
then
an
they
excellent
closed.
argument for me. Thank you.
I know.
Now,
But guess what? Guess what we did after that? We continued to eat chicken because
yeah.
it's delicious.
However, chicken cordon blue's cousin, chicken Kiev, is one of the that's a that would be a cheater chicken one, I guess, for me. Whatever.
Okay.
I like eating it off to the side.
All right. That so my number two now, last meals. Not my number one, Goff, if you're keeping track. It's my number
Okay.
two.
All right.
We're going to Taco Bell, buddy.
Oh, we're
We're
there
going
for
to
me
Taco
later
Bell.
too.
I absolutely love Taco Bell food. I know it's a problem. I know it's not even really food. It's dog food
Anyone
grade
who
level
says
meat.
that can go to hell.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't
It
care. And
has not
especially don't
killed
care if they're
us
about
yet.
to pull the lever and make things more hard on me. Taco Bell, give me a couple cheesy gordita crunches. Give me a Mexican pizza. Give me some fire sauce and wash it all down with a little Baja Blast, baby. And that is almost the best meal that you could possibly get in the history of life. Love you, Taco Bell, forever.
Okay. First of all right. So Taco Bell was also my number two. Um,
Yeah,
I'm going to show you right here on my phone. I don't know if you can see this, but it says CGC, which is cheesy gordita crunch.
that's right. Two?
Anyway, two cheesy gordita crunches, a
That's what
steak
I was going to say.
quesadilla, and a
Yeah.
large cherry Pepsi because they don't have Coke products.
I will tell you this as well. Quesadilla has been my go-to lately when I go there instead of the Mexican pizza. Mexican pizza was like
Yeah.
my old school one, which is why I kept it in this, like for old time's sake. But
Okay.
the quesadilla, shoot.
Yeah. But
Shoot.
so this specific actually one cheesy gordita crunch, one steak quesadilla, and one large Pepsi is like $17 now.
I was just gonna
That's
say that.
no joke. That's not me
Yeah.
exaggerating. That's what I
No.
paid like 2 weeks ago for that, and I was like
Yeah.
about to kill the kid. Have you tried the Cinnabon bites, the little cinnamon things?
No, and honestly, I only really get Taco Bell if it's like late night coming home from a show.
Yeah.
And I pass one by. I mean, I have Taco Bell probably once every 6 months, maybe.
Okay.
Like
That's
it's
kind of
very
when I
rare.
was working nights, I mean, maybe like once, a couple times a month now, yet say about the same thing. I get
Yeah.
Taco Bell gift cards for Christmas for my my sister-in-law Jamie all the time.
Solid.
And yeah, and there's one right by my house, but I just don't really go anymore. Sucks,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah.
All right, what's your number one?
My number one, we're going back to Serbia, buddy. My mom would be making food to watch her son die.
Oh
Anything
my
my
God.
mom makes for Slava is the best
That's nice.
food of all time because you only get it once a year. It's December 19th every year. And it's actually, there's no meat involved because we do not have meat that day. We do not have dairy products. So it's like catfish, which you can argue is meat, but whatever, we eat it anyway. Shrimp, like fried shrimp and cocktail sauce. My mom makes these like spicy chickpeas, stuffed cabbage, stuffed peppers, salmon that's made in this like bread croissant stuff. It is the best food. Oh, these like vinaigrette mushrooms that she makes. And then the desserts are just the best Serbian desserts of all time. If I'm going out, I say a lot of bad things about Serbians. And I only mean like 80% of them.
Yeah.
But this food, I mean, this is the way I'm going out. It's the best food, and it's just every year I can't wait to have it. And then you have it for a week because my mom makes so much of it.
Oh yeah,
so you just take all of it home, and then after that week, you're like, I'm good until next year, and we'll see you next year. So Slava food is my number one.
Man, well, you gave like a really heartfelt one, and I should have said like my mother-in-law's. Nothing against my mom's cooking, but like my mother-in-law, like the way they do their Greek Easter, like same thing. But I won't steal yours. So I'll go really generic, and I'm just gonna go with the best steak that I ever had in my life, which was a Wagyu beef, whatever. Which, like I said, it sounds generic, but like. Truth be told, like a restaurant in Chicago called GT Prime. Went there one time. Actually, that's the restaurant we went to before we saw Sebastian Maniscalco. And yeah, I just my brother-in-law Jeff ordered it for the table, and it was literally one of those like, oh, okay, let's see what the big deal is, and it was like, holy shit, this is the best beef I've ever had in my life. So
Nice.
like if you give me that with like asparagus and like a loaded baked potato, which loaded baked potatoes like I.
When they fry you and you pee a little bit, it smells. You get the last laugh because of the asparagus.
It just reminds me how much I love asparagus.
Do you have any potent notables as far as favorite or least favorites? Since I skipped over the least.
For least favorite, oh, you know what? It made me think of I don't know, whichever one of the ones you were talking about that you said is pointless. I had frog legs one time in my life, and I will never eat them again.
Legitimately, the only one that I have on my list is frog legs.
Which it just felt cruel eating them. Like, what are we doing? What is the point of this? It's literally like the calf of the frog is what you're eating, and it's just like that it's just it was weird. Al from Melmac, I think he bought them. He treated me to them. So Alf, I love you, buddy, but we're never doing frog legs again.
Well, so every year now, the past couple of years, I go to Hugo's Frog Bar for the Super Bowl with
I'm
my
pretty
dear
sure
friends.
that's where we had them in Naperville, right?
No,
or there is, I think there was one in Naperville. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
And so we always go there, and Ivica and Turtle eating frog legs is funny now that I think of it.
Very good.
And Santino, they order frog legs like for the table, and I never eat them because it makes me sad to look at them.
Yeah.
But also it should make me sad to eat any sort of like chicken or cow or whatever. You know what I mean? Like they're all animals. But I know what you're saying because you can see the detail of a frog leg, and you're like, what? And then the worst thing happened this year when like nobody wanted the last two frog legs, and I was like, these frogs are dying for no reason.
Yeah. See, like at least as not, I hate to say that because I mean, like I eat meat too, and I love animals, but it's like, I mean, a cow could feed a lot of people versus why did you kill the fucking frog? Like what? Like
Fair
seriously,
enough.
It's I mean, it's an animal's an animal, but I mean, it you know what I mean? If it's for
I don't eat a lot of red meat.
Yeah.
I was a vegetarian for 5 years, and I didn't have to. It was like, okay, I guess I don't need meat. It's just way easier to eat meat and like less boring and all that kind of stuff. But even since then, I still haven't had a steak. Like I haven't had a steak in probably 10 years or something like that. I don't really
like if you came over for dinner and we didn't tell you what we were having and that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not against it. It's just it hasn't come to a point where I don't crave it or anything. I don't mind eating chicken and turkey because like I don't like birds in general, so I don't feel bad about it. I don't think that's why I don't eat steak, but it's just like red meat in general. I'm not the biggest fan of or whatever. But yeah, but I get the thing with the Wagyu, because isn't that supposed to be? It's like a very expensive and like melts in your mouth, not in your hand.
Yeah, it was like one of the. I mean, and we paid for it, obviously. I mean,
I get it. Steak is
like,
delicious.
wow.
Steak is delicious. What about potent notables for your favorites? Like I got Chevops, which is another Serbian thing. I don't know. Like I was thinking about tacos or pizza. Like what's the best of those that you've had? But those kind of take a back seat when you're thinking your last meal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Lou Malnati's doesn't really do it for me.
No, it's a cool like Joni actually kind of put me on this topic because there's a YouTube page called, I forgot what it is, but they have a segment where they just ask celebrities. It's just like, yeah, what's your last, your top 3 last meals. So that's where I got the idea, and they do similar things like this. Some of them have these super extravagant ones, and then it's like Ken Jeong, his was hilarious. He has like Miller Lite. It's like, hey, you ever heard of this? But speaking of drinks, Coca-Cola, classic, my favorite, probably drink of all time, besides milk. I love milk. And then my gross, there you go, Pibb's good.
Mr. Pibb.
A caramel frap from either McDonald's or Starbucks. That's a guilty pleasure. And I like because whipped cream, I'm like a little kid. Like I literally take the top off and will like scoop the whipped cream into my mouth. And yeah, like seriously, Joni gets like it's known that like after we do that, I have to pull over to do that real quick, and then I'll drive away. And it's just like, you're doing the thing, aren't you? Yeah,
dude, you need therapy for so many.
This has been a really weird episode, huh?
Yeah, I would say so. All right, well, that's it for this week's episode. On next week's episode, we are going to be doing our favorite and least favorite TV episodes. Yeah. So we're going to be a little bit more specific. You're obviously going to pick a show and a specific episode. That spans so many things. We're totally going to miss out on some stuff, but it's totally going to be, what actually, we think currently. So.
Guys, like seriously, I mean, you guys all watch TV shows. If you want, send them in before or send them in after, whatever. But there were a few that came to mind for me right away, and it was like, ooh, this is gonna be fun. But yeah, it's gonna take a long week.
A lot of potent notables for sure.
Yes, sir.
And hopefully we'll be back together next week, holding hands and cuddling.
Hope so.
I keep sitting in your new chair that you got that you can't sit in because you're not
keep
here.
Farting in it, you jerk.
Yeah, it stinks. I don't know why. It's Callie actually has been sitting in it. But anyway, we'll see you guys next week, and whatever.
Happy St. Patty's Day. Later.